Hello and welcome to Biz Files. I'm Rosanne Detorres and I am the host of Biz Files. Biz Files is the talk show for business owners by business owners where you'll get tips and insights from successful entrepreneurs who reveal their secrets to success and the pitfalls to avoid. Whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur or just starting out in business, Biz Files offers business owners proven strategies for starting and scaling your business. Learn to think like an entrepreneur with Biz Files. Please check out my website, bizfiles.tv, for information about future editions of Biz Files and tantalizing information and resources for entrepreneurs. Joining us today is Nicole Barone. Nicole Barone is a peak performance specialist and certified health coach, and she has over 20 years of health and wellness experience. Nicole started her own business to provide a customized approach to reach each individual's nutrition and fitness goals. Nicole listens to each client's needs and develops customized solutions. Individuals ranging from children to seniors have benefited from her system and nutritional guidance. Through her health journey, Nicole has learned that benefiting from better nutrition can start at any age and that the second half of your life can be the best half of your life. I love that.
Thank you.
Before I ask you about what it is you do specifically, I'm very curious how you ended up where you are. What ignited the spark for you to be a nutrition and wellness coach?
Awesome. Well, first of all, thank you so much, Rosanne, for having me here. I'm truly delighted. And I think what ignites me is a great question that you can ask every individual. And a lot of entrepreneurs will give you all different types of answers. For me, it was really about having and understanding people and being really passionate about helping people live their best life. And my background stemmed when I first started in healthcare was in pharmaceuticals. And so kind of switching gears more in the holistic health approach, and I've always had that goal, I was really excited to help individuals and bring out the best in them.
And so when did you make the transition from working for others to working on your own?
Great question. In 2008, actually, about 9 years ago, I made the leap. I was at the height of my career. Things were going really well. But at the same time, I wasn't living my passion and my purpose. I was doing great for others in that corporate environment. I was at the height of my career, winning multiple awards, traveling around on these fancy trips that I won. But, I wasn't doing that with my family and for my family on my time. So what I lacked was the time freedom, and I knew there was a better way.
And so if you were in a room with other new entrepreneurs, what two or three pieces of advice would you give somebody just starting out based on your experience that you went through when you were making your way as a new business owner?
I would say believe in yourself and really have that vision of what you want to do and be very crystal clear about it. And then just go and find and seek others that could support you in that. So surrounding yourself with good people is going to lead to great results.
Stick with the winners.
That's right.
How do you go about gaining your clients? Where do they come from?
So I feel that I just love talking to people and individuals, but I love networking. I love helping others. And so really it's just a referral base that I've attracted over these years and asking for those referrals and then just finding out good people to not only support others in their endeavors. I feel it's just important to give referrals, but also to find individuals. So it's almost just that it breeds on its own naturally that people will be drawn and come to me because I'm specific in what I'm looking for as a particular client.
Well, let's talk more about that. How do you define, is that your ideal client?
Yeah, I think the ideal client is someone that's open, willing to have a conversation, willing to jump on and have a Zoom call and talk with me a little bit and just for me to get to know them better and just having that dialogue, someone that's not closed, if you will.
And so where are you meeting these people and what communities do you involve yourself in to meet
Yeah, a lot of women's networks are really good. Great question. Women's networks are really good, and different networking that I do for, through the Chamber of Commerce, and there's other smaller networks that I've joined as well too, as well as leadership growth seminars to work with other entrepreneurs that can then lead me to other individuals in those types of groups. Being that I'm in health and nutrition and kind of focused in that area, you can find a lot of people that are already gravitating to that area. So I can pull from that too.
And so if you had to identify the top three skills that an entrepreneur would need, what would they be?
I think, clearly have a plan, take action with that plan, and then take a risk too. I feel that there's a component for an entrepreneur that has to be living outside of the comfort zone. And what, you're modeled after, I should say, gravitating and moving out of, into corporate America. You're kind of given this job, if you will, or a mold in a corporate structure. So you're sort of like in this comfort zone. As an entrepreneur, you have to step outside of that. And you have to take those risks and believe in yourself. And it's not the norm. And those are the ones that lead.
And so let's go now to, what your business is about. Tell us about your business and what it is that you offer people.
Thank you. Yes, I'd love to share. So I work with a company called Strategic Agility Group, and Strategic Agility Group has actually been around for a little while, and it's a company that I formed to really help and assist individuals to find their best self. So I call myself a peak performance strategist to really bring out the best individual, if you will. So it's not so much about size, but it's about overall their performance, whether they're wanting to be best at their job, the best in their family, or the best in their next marathon or next 5K. So I help individuals wherever they are to help them with nutrition and nutritional planning, as well as on the performance side as well too. I can just work with them if they're going for a particular goal.
So take us through a typical day or a typical client. How do you work with them?
Sure. So everybody comes to me with a different approach to kind of how they're handling and managing their health, right? And sometimes they don't have a very good understanding. So everybody comes to me with a different understanding of their health. So I try to get them a basis of kind of where they are, and then we'll decide and kind of go from there, and I'll understand what I need to do. What are they eating? What are they doing activity-wise? How they're moving their body, and kind of all the other parameters in their life. What their work schedule's like, what their sleep schedule's like, and taking a look at that. Then we'll kind of decide on what they're eating. And a lot of times that's a big discussion because people are really kind of focused a little bit more on the SAD, the standard American diet. And I have to, uncover that and figure out how we can make some tweaks to that to give them the best performance.
I imagine that those are difficult conversations because I know for myself, I'm no spring chicken. Mm-hmm. I don't want to really share necessarily what it is that I put in my mouth every day or what my activity level is or really isn't. So how do you manage those fears on the part of people or those mental mindsets that restrict people from being receptive to what you're talking about?
Yeah, good point. I mean, I think a lot of times people tend to want to hold back, but just through the uncovering process of asking good, open-ended questions, I build a trust with the client that, I work with some really important people. So my VIP clients, it's all confidential. So really setting that up front, but also understanding and looking at what their goal is. They're talking to me for a reason. They're not satisfied with where they are. So I build the trust to then uncover and allow them to really share with me, what if they could change, what would that look like to them? And then we kind of stick to that really major goal. Maybe it's for them doing their first 5K. Maybe it's for them, performing in a marathon and bringing down their times, PRing their marathon. So it just depends on the individual. And for some people, it's just for them to wake up and have energy in the morning because their day and their family life and things have gotten so heavy that they just don't have the energy anymore. And we're going to take a look at that. But it's a lot of hand-holding and really letting them feel really comfortable and knowing that I've pretty much heard it all. And, we get personal, and that's okay. And it's only going to be between me and them. So I can be at sometimes, part therapist as well, which is important.
Yeah. So how has this journey affected your family life? What is the impact of this shift in your career done to your family?
I am just so blessed because I have the opportunity and the time freedom that I didn't have when I was back in my corporate career. I worked for a large pharmaceutical company, and although that was fantastic, I didn't have the luxury of sometimes tucking my small children in at night. And I was away 5 nights a week, twice a month. I was on 7:30 conference calls. So I'm able to dictate the schedule that I have and work around that, which has been really such a benefit to my family to, not miss sports games, to just be active and attentive, but at the same time, really still living a passion of helping others from a health perspective that I love. So it's been life-changing, I would say. I, in the very beginning, felt like I had lifted up years and added years to my life of what the stress level that was released from it. I didn't realize kind of where I was. And that's so important for me to kind of share with others as well, too. Other entrepreneurs and other people from a health perspective, and how important that is.
Did you have a personal journey in health and wellness? I don't want to get pride, but did that motivate you to seek this kind of opportunity?
Yeah, actually it was. I've always had a really great understanding of health and nutrition personally. But I think I was approaching, another decade of my life and not really feeling my fittest. And I kind of had hit a little bit of a wall. So I started seeking out, researching, trying to understand things that could fuel myself and particularly my husband, and just as our family as we were aging. I wanted to do that. So then as a result of that, the short is that what worked for me, I knew would work for others. And I wanted to continue to share that.
So when you when you engage with a customer, how do you go about creating a successful base of customers? It takes more than one, right? Mm-hmm. So give us some of the tips and strategies that you use to keep that base intact and to get more customers.
Sure. So everybody has their story. And so I really have a file, if you will, for each individual and kind of where they are in their health journey and where they want to go. And I can go ahead and kind of map that out. And then I look to other people that they may know and ask for referrals within them. Because usually if they're a happy customer, healthy customer in that regard, then they would go ahead and refer me. So a lot of the business that I've received is also through referrals and helping them as well.
And do you use technology to track where your customers are in their health journeys and things like that?
Absolutely. I have a database and information that I'm able to track for the individual, because what's great about, my business is I live in New Jersey, but I have clients all over. So it doesn't matter where they are, that I can help and serve them. And sometimes it's a weight loss goal that someone's looking for. Sometimes it's a performance goal. And then sometimes it's just kind of from a healthy living and or energy and seeking more of that. So it depends on that. And then I categorize them into those groups as well too. We also have some online platforms for communities of groups. So I can also put other people together that maybe are on a weight loss journey together. So we have a group kicking off next week, right after Super Bowl, for another, so to speak, New Year reset. And these are for individuals that may want to just kind of have another refocus for their start to the year.
What do you say to those people that say, I've tried everything, I lose the weight, it comes back, it's like a cycle, a circle, how do you encourage those people? What do you say?
I say, you haven't coached with me. And I'd be honored to work with you, and at the same time, the individuals that I do work with, I do really expect for them to get an outcome. I have one success story of working with a client that was looking from a performance perspective to really peak out at her triathlons. And she had really a great base knowledge of nutrition, but we tweaked up a few things and she was able to win in her age group class. That's which amazing. Was awesome, and I was obviously excited about that, but more importantly, like, just to know that, like, I took her from one level to the next, and she clearly, had stated, this is not from me, because I was doing a lot of things, but you tweaked those little things for me that made the difference.
Yeah. So how do you market your business? Do you use any kind of marketing, a website, social media? What do you do?
Yeah, so I have a website. I do mostly through social media, through word of mouth as well too. So there's some other avenues for people if they're looking for health and nutrition from a SEO perspective too, to kind of gravitate towards me as well too. And yeah.
Can you do all that work yourself, or do you work with outside contractors or vendors? Or
I do work with other vendors that I have, if you will, connected with from other people, just from my network itself. And, I would recommend that for any entrepreneur, to really seek out other individuals in your community, in your area, people that that you trust and that they've seen results. So using examples from what other people have had success in.
What do you attribute your success to? What attribute of your personality has been the key to your success?
I hear it all the time, and I would probably say my passion. I'm passionate about what I do. I'm passionate about the people that I work with and helping them achieve their success. I thrive on it, and I feel like I'm willing to do more than the average individual because I want to see you succeed. I want to see everyone succeed.
When you display that passion, you're meeting people, you're at a networking event or at some other public event, let's say. Talk to us about how you network. How do you approach a networking event? Is there anything specific that you do?
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel walking into a room when you were just starting out in this? Nobody knew you as the health and wellness expert, Tell us a little bit about what your experience was and what, if you knew now what you knew then, what you would say to yourself.
It's such a great question. And I'm thinking back to my one of my very first networking events. There was probably about 175 people in the room. I'm brand new with the new business card. I don't have a large company attached to me. I don't have all my accolades behind me. I'm kind of the new kid on the block. And what I would say is I stepped out of my comfort zone, and you just say hello. It all starts with saying hello, asking questions, sharing your name and asking them about them. I love to uncover different questions and ask about different things about different people to let me know about what they're passionate about. And then that really starts the conversation. What's the number one thing that people love to do? Talk about themselves. People love to talk about themselves. So I learned that early on, and I did that as well too. And even when people ask me what I did, I could easily ask another question to uncover and find out a little bit more about them, which was helpful. And I would tell people that in the beginning, when you're nervous and you're uncomfortable, ask questions of other people and keep asking them questions, and that'll help you ease into it.
Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. Asking questions puts people at ease, and it gets them talking about themselves, and it takes the focus off, what are we doing here, and what are we going to get out of this,
and have fun with it too. It doesn't have to be all business. It can be like, what did you do this past weekend that you enjoyed?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, are you a solopreneur?
So I work with a team, but technically I could say that I am considered more of a solopreneur in that regard, because strategic agility is under my belt, and actually my husband's belt as well too, from a marketing perspective. But that was something that we set up years ago. It just made sense. Yeah.
So this is an educational program, and I don't want to focus on failures or mistakes, but is there a mistake or that you made that you could share with us and teach us what you learned from that mistake as you grew your business?
I think in the very beginning, I focused a little bit more on my cold market. And what I mean by that is I never really had a problem like reaching out to individuals that I didn't know that well. That didn't really bother me. Always had a strong work ethic. And I think it comes with that grit that I had. I mean, I'm a first generation American. My parents are both Eastern European. So right there, it tells you like, okay, I can do it all. So, but at the same time, with that being said, I had more to prove to myself, to the individual that I was working with and reaching out to. Specifically, I remember calling on some chiropractors in a group, and so that was like a little bit more challenging because I didn't know them. But what I would switch differently, knowing back then, is really go to my warm market and ask for more referrals and ask for individuals of who may know somebody. And I would recommend that to all entrepreneurs. Start with who you know, and then ask those individuals for great referrals. And I kind of did it backwards in the beginning. I learned a heck of a lot, built some really interesting and great relationships I still have, but kind of did it a little hard in the beginning.
Yeah. So the warm leads, those are the ones that you should have focused on. The friends, the people that already knew, that were already raving fans of yours, instead of struggling with the people that you didn't know.
Yeah.
Great. So if you had to pick one mentor, a person that you consider to be your greatest business mentor, who would that be and why?
So for me right now, I would say it's this individual because of that I do work with, and she's very successful within my organization. And she is someone that I look up to from a health coaching background perspective. She's a nutritionist. I believe because of her passion as well, like I would say for me, helping others, family focused, God focused as well too. So she sort of encapsulates the whole package, and she's someone that I look up to. And it's an individual that, no matter if you have a high or low in your business, they just always pick you up.
Right.
So that's always a win.
What one thing would you tell if you could tell your 14-year-old self?
Oh, believe in yourself. Keep going. You got this, girl.
Tell me one thing you do every day to stay motivated.
One thing that I do every day to stay motivated is really list out and write out my gratitudes and affirmations. We all have so much. I am so grateful for everything that I have. And I feel that we forget that so often because we're looking at what we want, that we desire, and we already have it.
It's a cultural phenomenon, I think, of American society to focus on the things that we don't have and what we strive for. It's my daily practice too. I love that, to make even a short gratitude list. It could be, just for the bed I got up off of, because having come back from just a recent trip and slept on a hotel bed, I could tell you, I like my bed the best. So,
I can appreciate.
You can relate, right? So, I think an attitude of gratitude really helps business owners and entrepreneurs with their generosity, and to be more open to what the universe has in store for us on any given day. If you had to tell someone the one defining characteristic of your personal brand, what is that, besides passion? Because you already said that.
Okay. I would say persistence.
Okay.
I would say, health is a journey, right? It's not a race.
Yep.
So many people want to race to get to the finish line. And I will tell you, at no matter what age I am, we have the highs and we have the lows. And it is a consistent journey. It's a daily practice. You wake up, maybe you pray every day, maybe you do gratitudes, you brush your teeth every day. Well, health and fitness needs to be part of that lifestyle as well too, in order for you to really capture that. So persistence.
Where do you see yourself 10 years from now?
I see myself in 3 locations. Recently, I connected with someone, and it was the neatest thing ever. And he said that in the winter, you can find me in Montana. In the spring months, you can find me in Chile, and in the summer, I think it was Thailand, or it was like 3 countries with 3 addresses and phone numbers, and I was like, brilliant! So 10 years from now, I'm going to continually be doing and helping individuals because I love what I do. But I'll probably be in a warm climate in the winter a little bit, and semi relaxed, if you will, in that maybe wearing some golf shorts
Awesome.
and not in a thick sweater.
Awesome. Well, we're just about out of time, Nicole. I want to thank you for joining us today. Tell the audience now how they can connect with you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rosanne, and thank you for this opportunity. You can connect with me at Nicole@NicoleBarone.com. Also go to Strategic Agility Group, or you can certainly give me a call anytime as well, too. And should I provide that phone number, Rosanne?
Yeah,
all right. Sure. My phone number is 973-495-2748.
Thank you, Nicole. And we're out of time today. I want to thank Nicole Barone again for joining me on Biz Files. To everyone listening or watching, thank you for joining me for this edition of Biz Files, the talk show for business owners by business owners. Please visit us on our website, bizfiles.tv, where you'll find information about future editions of Biz Files. That's all for now. Until next time, I'm Rosanne Detorres.